She looked up at him with tears of rage and terror in her eyes. "I don't want this," she said. His eyes still bore that maddening peace. It was the look of a man that was confident in his convictions. "Well," he said, "part of you doesn't. Part of you is still fighting it, but that part will die away with time. You were born to serve, as we all were, and in time you will come to accept that." "I will never accept that," she spat. "You will see," he said, and rose to his feet. "That thing," she said, "that creature that killed my friends. It tried to kill me too. Why would it try to kill me if I was your vessel? Why did David help us?" "The sadist," he said, "for that is what it's called, is a creature with very little restraint. He can be a little overzealous at times. He was never meant to kill you, only the others. And David was there to make sure nothing went wrong. You were the one that mattered," David added. "We went through quite a lot to get you here in the first place, and I wasn't about to let you get killed by that lumbering idiot. Nearly killed me a couple of times trying to keep him in line. Bastard sure can take a bullet." "So you chose this for me?" she asked unbelievingly. "Oh, yes," Chase said. "The Morses Labari have been watching you for some time. We went to great lengths to find you and make sure you arrived here, where we could purify you without outside interference. We needed a woman who met our prerequisites, but still strong-willed enough to be able to murder in compassion, and who desired a child more than anything in the world. It's taken us 20 years to find a suitable vessel. You should be very proud." Chase picked up the claustrum off the altar, as well as a small jar with something sticking out of it. He knelt before her, placing both the jar and the claustrum at her feet. "What is that?" she asked. "India ink," he said, stirring the little bottle, with what she could see now was a small brush. "We need to make a mandala for the inception." "A what?" she asked. "A mandala," he repeated. "I'll show you." Again, she was struck by just how odd Chase's manner was. He had her chained here to a torture rack, crusted with ancient blood. Yet his demeanor was one of kindness and patience. He grasped a thin silver chain from inside his shirt and pulled it out, producing a silver key. At least she thought it was a key. She'd never seen anything quite like it. It resembled a turnkey from a wind-up toy, but it was impossibly beautiful. It had been etched with a series of crisscrossing lines that gave its surface an Aztec quality. Chase inserted the key into a small hole in the bottom of the claustrum and turned it. Instantly, the 3 unbroken sides of the pyramid rolled back, revealing a small, flat stone with an ornate round engraving. Instantly, the feeling of unreality rolled over her as before, and she could feel a strange throbbing, as if a heart was beating just behind her eyes. "Don't be afraid," Chase said, and lifted the stone free. "This is a Isotax mandala. It's a crest which binds his essence to this stone. The substance is called karma. It's utterly indestructible." He held it out so that she could look at it. She turned her head, not wanting to gaze at it. "Go ahead and look at it. If anyone has that right, it's you, Annie," he said. "Is this going to take long?" David asked, fidgeting. "Somewhere else you wish to be?" Chase asked him without looking and wiped the excess ink off his brush. "No, I just don't like the idea of being trapped down here while the school burns to ashes above us." Chase ignored him and began to paint a large circle on Annie's stomach. The ink was cold, and it made her shiver involuntarily. "Chase," she whispered, "you still have time to stop this madness. You don't have to do this." She knew even as she said it, whatever Chase was, it wasn't crazy. He did stop momentarily and looked into her eyes. His smile was warming and disarming. That face, she thought, was the mask of an angel hiding the face of the devil. "My name, Annie, is not Chase," he said, and went back to work. His brush worked in long, practiced strokes. The symbol was one he knew well. It quickly became a larger replica of the one etched into the flat stone. But never once did he look at it for reference. As he painted the mandala, a strange warmth stole over her, that was likewise disarming. It spoke of peace and rest. It spoke of an end to the violence. But she knew it was lying. E.I. Sotak, whatever it was, knew only one way, and its way was pain. You've been listening to Ambuscade, Book 1 of The Pain Chaser, written and performed by Patrick E. Malloy. If you like what you've heard, you can buy your own copy of the book at www.patrickemalloy.com. That's Patrick, the letter E, Molloy. All music for this production was written and performed by Raymond Jelly. And I'd also like to personally thank fellow writer-podcaster Nathan Lowell for all his help in getting this production started. Until next time, enjoy the nightmares. Well, that's the end of our story. Thank you so much for listening, and the story will continue in the next part, The Pain Chaser 2, Gestation, which will be available on my website, www.patrickemalloy.com. Thanks again.